Banking Television. My name is Paul Gentile. Better Banking TV is a presentation of the Credit Unions of Rhode Island. We're happy that you could join us for this month's very special presentation. As you may know, credit unions are different from other financial service providers because credit unions are financial cooperatives, abiding by a set of business principles and values specific to cooperatives. One of the core values of this cooperative business model is giving back to the community. In the state of Rhode Island, credit unions live this in many ways, and most visibly through their support of Special Olympics Rhode Island. On this month's program, Better Banking will focus entirely on Special Olympics Rhode Island and the support credit unions throughout the state give to Special Olympics. To start us off, here's David Dupere from Wave Credit Union, who will introduce us to the president of Special Olympics Rhode Island, Dennis DeJesus.
Thank you, Denny, for coming out today. Wanted to ask you a few questions about Special Olympics and what we're doing here with the Credit Unions of Rhode Island. So figure we get started. Tell me a little bit about Special Olympics, the athletes, and how long have you guys been in business, I guess is the question.
Excellent. We're celebrating our 49th anniversary. Our founding date was 1968. As a matter of fact, it's the same year that Special Olympics International was founded. So as we look toward the end of 2017 and more importantly into 2018, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
We have a lot planned, a lot going on, and a committee formed to really bring awareness to our athletes, their great abilities on and off the athletic fields. So 2018 hopefully will be a spectacular year for Special Olympics Rhode Island. And I think it's well overdue as far as having a platform for our athletes to show and demonstrate their abilities, but also to talk about those with intellectual disabilities and how far we have come in the past 60 years, because we have come an awful long way in providing services for those with intellectual disabilities, and again, on and off the athletic fields.
Oh, great. Well, I know Special Olympics offers like a wide array of programs. I know you've got the extremely successful unified sports programs with the Unified Champion Schools, and of course the summer games. So tell us a little bit more about the programs that Special Olympics offers to the athletes.
Back in 1960, 1970, the program was strictly for athletes. The only way you could get into Special Olympics was if you had an intellectual disability. And then in the early 1980s, a shift began to happen, and we started to welcome partners without disabilities and started to be a little bit more open, a little bit more inclusive for those outside of our community. And those partners really brought a whole new dynamic to Special Olympics as far as I was concerned, because athletes wanted to play alongside of those without disabilities. So we started the unified program, and all of our team sports now have a unified component. So we have traditional, which is just athletes, in basketball and volleyball and softball, but now we have unify in those same exact sports. So we brought it to golf as well. Golf, we play alternate shot golf. So an athlete plays alongside of a partner. And I think opening it up to those without intellectual abilities in the 80s and then into the 90s led us to where we are today with Unified Champion Schools, which you mentioned, the former Project Unify, where in 2010 we brought the sports of basketball and volleyball into our high schools for the first time. Athletes playing alongside of partners, wearing their school colors under the umbrella of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, playing for state championships for the first time. All of a sudden, our athletes going to school really felt a little bit more a part of their school community because they could compete athletically.
No, great. What would you say you see as one of the biggest benefits of Special Olympics to the athletes?
I think Special Olympics means so much to them as a community. It's a very, very supportive community. But through Special Olympics, our athletes, just like any other sports program, builds confidence, builds self-esteem, prepares them for life's journey. I remember back about 20 years ago, there was a tagline for Special Olympics that I thought said it all: training for life. So if you have the opportunity to be a Special Olympics athlete, you're really training to go forward in life. The confidence that you build will help propel you in school, hopefully in the workplace, and on into your life. So I think Special Olympics provides that foundation, that support, that rock for our athletes, that they know that through competition they excel, but given the opportunity, and I think, David, that's the key word, that's what we're all about, opportunities. Giving athletes the opportunity, they will succeed. They will succeed in life's journey.
Well, I had the opportunity to participate down at Summer Games. Can you tell the viewers a little bit more about Summer Games? Because it just seems to be like the crowning event of the year for Special Olympics Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl. That's what it is. It's the Super Bowl for our athletes. It's always the first weekend after Memorial Day. We go down to URI, 1,500 athletes, 1,000 volunteers, 2,000 spectators. They get an opportunity to stay overnight in the dormitories. I always say they have the chance to enjoy cafeteria food. I'm not sure if you can enjoy cafeteria food, but they look forward to this, David, January 1. I'll be somewhere in January or February, and some athlete will say, "Will I see you at URI in June?" And I'm thinking to myself, I got 6 months to get through. I'm not worried about June. But in their eyes, that is just so critically important to them. Marching into the stadium in front of 2,000 people, waving to their family and friends, the spotlight solely on them at opening ceremonies and throughout the weekend. So it's all about athletic competition, but let's not forget the importance of health screenings. Because a priority coming out of Special Olympics International is making sure that our athletes are in better physical shape, better physical conditioning. So healthy athletes is a priority this year, as it's been in the past 10 years, but going forward, there's even a greater emphasis on making sure our athletes are healthy. And of course, social interaction. That's what the weekend's about as well.
Yeah.
You know, as important as the athletic competition is, our athletes really enjoy being in each other's company. The races are very hard and they're very competitive, but when the race is over, our athletes are the first to put their arms around each other and congratulate one another. And really the true show of sportsmanship that others should emulate.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But Summer Games is always the highlight of our calendar year. But I need to remind our viewers that we go January through December, 25 sports year-round, a total of 3,400 athletes. But inevitably, someone will meet me and say, "Oh, I know what you guys do. You do the games down at URI." And I have to correct them because it's the most visible part of our sports menu, and it has an awful lot of visibility because it gets covered by the local press. But we're proud of the fact that our athletes are busy throughout the entire year, January through December. You know, one time we counted up all of the races, all of the swim meets, all of the basketball, volleyball, and all of those games, and it came out to 1,600 events a year that we host. So our athletes are very busy, and they love the opportunity to compete.
No, definitely. Well, congratulations, great Summer Games.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to see the bikers come in and just the excitement that just with the athletes running across the field to see the bikers coming in. So once again, great event. I've had the opportunity to do it for almost 15 years now. And it's one of those things that I think even the 72 volunteers that we've had this year, every single one of them, the expression keeps coming back. We just so look forward to coming back to this every year.
Let's talk credit union. I mean, I think that's why we're here. One of our greatest partners, a group of people who embraced Special Olympics some 20, 25 years ago and made sure that they put Special Olympics as a priority on their fundraising agenda. Yep. And you know, Dave, 20, 25 years ago, Special Olympics wasn't as popular as it was today. It is very popular today, but back then they embraced an organization that was struggling for an identity and struggling to make sure that our athletes had a place, a visible place in the community. And the credit unions of Rhode Island, over the past 25 years, raising close to $1 million in support of our athletes. Where would we be without them? Our athletes are not charged a participation fee nor a registration fee. Yeah. They compete for free. So it's incumbent upon us to go out and raise the necessary money. And it's easy to do so when you have a group like the Credit Unions of Rhode Island who are not only in it financially, volunteers, but more importantly, advocates. Real strong advocates for those with intellectual disabilities. And to see them when they come to Summer Games, I think they're just as excited as the athletes.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, they can't wait to get there on Friday. They have their assignments. They see the same athletes year in and year out because they're assigned to that track venue. And I notice that they're pretty excited when they get to URI as well.
Tell me about some of your other events that you've got coming up that the viewers might be interested in.
Well, certainly Benefest is probably one of our premier events. It's a high-ticket item. It'll be in October of this year. We're doing something brand new in August. It's called Savor the Flavor, and it's a $50 ticket, and it gives you an opportunity to sample and taste over 35 restaurants are going to be there at Roger Williams Casino on the evening of August 10th, 5 o'clock to about 8 o'clock at night. Call us here. Website www.specialolympicsri.org for a complete calendar of all of our events and for any other information. July 31st, our annual golf tournament, which has been very successful, extremely successful over the years. So July we have the golf tournament. August we have the Savor the Flavor at Roger Williams Park Casino. Then we're looking forward to our event in October, and that's going to be at the former Hyatt Hotel, now the Gurney's Hotel down in Newport.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's going to be where Benefest is, our semi-formal event. And then at the end of the year, we have our holiday auction. So it's a busy agenda going forward, but it has to be only because of the fact that none of our athletes pay to participate. And not only the credit unions of Rhode Island, but we've been blessed with so many great benefactors and supporters, and we're proud of the fact that so many corporations, foundations, and individuals donate on an annual basis to support the great athletes and everything that they're doing on and off the athletic field.
I'm just in awe sometimes when I look at what Special Olympics offers and what you're planning for the future. And I think it's the same thing with our committee. Anything that we can donate or raise any further, that's our goal. So I know the 50th anniversary is coming up. The goal with the credit unions is we're nearing $1 million. So expectations are, and we're saying that we're 100% sure we're going to make that $1 million goal for next year. And it's July when next year?
The actual anniversary date of the games in Chicago in 1968, when Mrs. Shriver opened the games, was July 20th.
Okay.
So that has always been, in the eyes of Special Olympics, the anniversary date. And let me just say, what a great year it would be, and what a coincidence it would be if the credit unions hit their 1 million mark on our 50th anniversary.
Oh, it's definitely happening.
I get a feeling it will.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thanks,
and
David.
Always appreciate your
Thanks,
efforts.
David. Thank you for all you do for our athletes.
Thank you.
Rhode Island Credit Union, proudly serving its members since 1946. At Rhode Island Credit Union, we are not accountable to stockholders. We are accountable to you, our members. We are committed to providing affordable products delivered by a knowledgeable and friendly staff. We know our members and understand their financial needs, and we are dedicated to serving all of those needs. Rhode Island Credit Union, more than just banking.
We're more than just banking, Rhode Island Credit Union.
As I mentioned earlier, giving back to the community is a core value for credit unions. Why is it important? Well, let's have some of the state's credit union CEOs tell us why, in their own words.
Special Olympics of Rhode Island, what a great organization to be associated with. They do a lot for their athletes. They give them a sense of belonging, a sense of fellowship, camaraderie. They give them the purpose of confidence and support. So we've always donated our time and our resources to Special Olympics because we're passionate about the organization and what it does for so many people.
I think it's important for us to be good corporate citizens in the communities within which we do business. And providing assistance both through volunteering and also financially to an organization such as Rhode Island Special Olympics, I think is a great way for us to show that we're good corporate citizens.
And certainly the Special Olympics is right on top of our list of great organizations to support.
A vital part of the credit union's business is really supporting organizations like Special Olympics and all the other types of nonprofit organizations that are in, whether they're large, whether they're small, in Rhode Island.
Well, it's in the DNA of credit unions to support the community. Right from the inception, that's what Filene expected us to do. So that's never going to change. And picking an organization such as the Special Olympics, there's no more pure organization than that I can think of in the world.
The credit union is here because of our community. So we have jobs because of our community. Our employees have jobs. And it's just the right thing to do to give back to the community that's given so much to you.
We support lots of different organizations. And there's a responsibility, a duty for an organization like a credit union to serve and support those organizations, those community groups.
And as we know, everything takes financial support. It takes personnel support, and I believe the credit unions in Rhode Island do a fantastic job of providing both that type of support to Rhode Island Special Olympics.
Last month, Special Olympics Rhode Island held its annual summer games at URI. Here's Gina DiPaolo from Rhode Island Credit Union, who will introduce us to one of the hundreds of Special Olympian athletes who participated in the games.
Hi, Haley and Danielle. How are you?
Good.
So happy to have you here with me today. Just had some questions for you about your involvement with Special Olympics. How long have you been involved with Special Olympics?
When I was 16.
Wow. And how old are you now?
27.
So a long time. Yeah? What sports do you do?
Flag football, softball, flag football, and track and field.
That's right. I actually saw you do your track and field events. What's your favorite part? What do you really love about Special Olympics? I know you like the competing part of it.
Yeah,
because I saw you doing that. How about the friends? Yeah. What else?
My team.
When I saw you, it seemed like you and your teammates were cheering each other on, really trying to encourage each other. They were cheering you on and you were cheering them on. So it's nice that you all work, you compete against each other, but you all work together and train together. Hasn't Danielle been your coach at some point too?
Yeah.
What's that like, having your sister-in-law as your coach?
Fun.
Yeah. So now I'm curious, Danielle, why Special Olympics is important to you.
From the entire organization standpoint, to see any Special Olympics event that I've been to, the athletes are so passionate and so exciting. Just like you were saying, hearing everyone cheer each other on, even though they might be competing against each other, it's just really exciting. And on a personal level, being able to see Haley set goals for herself and achieve those goals and work towards them and have that support is just really exciting.
And how do you think it has enriched her life in particular?
A lot of ways. I mean, the main thing is before Special Olympics, Haley didn't really have an opportunity to work within a team for sports. So that aspect of being able to work within a team and learn how to work together towards a common goal has been something that's super exciting to watch and to see, and the encouragement that they have amongst each other. And then that social aspect can't be overlooked, of being able to be around people who are passionate about the same sports or activities that you are, and learn from each other's strengths, and become better athletes all around just from being around other people with similar interests.
Right. You agree with all of that?
Yeah.
So one of my last questions to you, Danielle, is, credit unions, as well as a lot of other people and organizations, donate money and time to Special Olympics, and not everyone has the same opportunity to come to the games and see, those dollars at work.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who support the organization, make donations, and volunteer?
Yeah, I mean, first, just thank you so much, and thank you for the time and that opportunity. Because the Special Olympics is an amazing organization, and Special Olympics of Rhode Island has an amazing staff and team, but you've seen firsthand how much manpower it takes to put on these types of events, and where the athletes can go and be so focused on their goals and learn and grow learn from each other and grow. And so without that additional support, it would be hard to say how those events would turn out and what they would look like. So that time and those resources is super valuable, because there would probably be athletes who wouldn't be able to be involved if it weren't for those resources.
I know, just for the event that we saw you participate in, the track and field event, there were probably 70 credit union employees who were volunteering that day.
Yeah.
And that was just for one event, for a part of the day. And you saw how many resources it took just to be able to help the athletes through that one particular event and escort you out for your awards. So you really do see how much is needed, and you also see how much money is needed to put on the event.
Absolutely. And just those personal connections that the athletes are able to make with the volunteers as well. I mean, Haley looks forward to seeing every year, seeing those same volunteers and running up to them and saying thank you. And she makes connections with the volunteers as well, and it opens up opportunities for her growth and development as well.
And them recognizing us as a volunteer means a lot to us too, because you hope that you make some type of connection, but you're not always sure, So we have come over the years to see athletes that we have seen many years compete, and Haley, you're one of them. You're one of my favorites.
You could pick anything you want. If you don't have a choice, people pick for you. Yes, that would be nice.
Well, Greenwood Credit Union was founded in 1948, and so we will be celebrating our 70th year of existence next year. We've been serving the local Warwick community during that period of time. We're a unique institution in that we have just one branch office, and we tried to serve the local community of Warwick and East Greenwich and Cranston and Coventry, West Warwick, some of the neighboring communities on the West Bay of Rhode Island. But in addition to that, we also have a second set of constituents, if you will. We provide a lot of automobile financing directly through the dealer. And so we have a number of relationships with new car and used car dealerships ranging from Maine as far south as New Jersey and even as far west as Wisconsin. And so we provide a service to those dealerships to help them sell automobiles and to help those consumers buy the automobile and finance that transaction. So we're kind of a unique institution in that regard. While we're serving our general community members, we also have another set of clients that we also provide service to. Well, we are a traditional retail banking institution where we do provide our members with traditional checking and savings and borrowing products, home mortgages, equity loans if they're interested in making home improvements or financing large transactions. We have safe deposit boxes here for our members. And in addition, we do provide all of the banking products through our online channels that our members can access their accounts at their computers at home. They can also access them on their phones. And that's really the direction that the financial industry is moving towards. More and more people are utilizing their smartphones to do their banking. And we have provided our members with a state-of-the-art mobile technology that they can do their banking right there in the palm of their hand. It's interesting that you ask, because we have had some educational programs specifically around assisting our members with doing their banking through the online channels. Some individuals are a little apprehensive about trying to access and transact utilizing their computer or their smartphone, and so we have had educational seminars specifically around those issues. We like to run a different seminar each month. We do take the months of the summer off due to vacations, but we have this year offered, in addition to the online education seminar, we had a first-time homebuyers seminar to assist our members who are thinking about purchasing a home, especially those first-time homebuyers. It is a major life event, and it helps to have some good counseling around that. We've also had educational seminars speaking specifically to small businesses and trying to provide some information around the best way to get financing to support their small business efforts. Well, I've always believed that the educated and informed consumer is the best consumer. And many of the large life events include needing financing. And I believe that the consumer should have a resource, a trusted resource that they can go to get accurate and complete information. And I believe that the credit union should be that source. We have, for our entire history, been here to support our members, to put their interests first. And part of that is through education. It can be in the form of a formal educational seminar, but where I really see the education and the information being exchanged is really in the day-to-day interactions that our staff has with the membership. We take the extra time to listen to needs, understand the situation, and then to provide the member with the right advice to help them with their financial decisions.
Greenwood Credit Union offers a 1.75% APR home equity line of credit for home improvements or personal expenses with easy monthly payments and fast access to your cash. No fees, no closing costs. Apply now online. Visit greenwoodcu.org for complete details.
You've found the right place to bank anytime and anywhere. Greenwood Credit Union, doing what's right for you and your family for generations.
An equal housing lender.
That's our show for the month of July. We hope you enjoyed it. We invite you to take a minute to tell us what you think by sharing your comments with us. Our email address is betterbanking@ccua.org. As we close our program, we'll leave you with some of the sights and sounds of last month's Summer Games at URI, hosted by Special Olympics Rhode Island. Thanks for joining us.
All right, I think we're good.
In first place, with a time of 2 minutes, Haley DuPont.